Yeah. So I was gonna ask you how you manage your schedule, but like,
Yeah.
so are you busy every single hour of the day? Do you feel like?
I would love to show you guys, and I have a documentary coming out next year.
Yeah.
It's called My Rolling 20s.
Oh.
I documented my entire 20s.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? HJ?
Yeah.
This just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah. I'm excited to show you guys because I will show you guys how I went from, I break down. Years ago I used to break down, I couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
But now it's like, it's beautiful because the moment I wake up, I have something to do. I have like, fire alarms ringing like, hey, this happened, that happened. And every day I wake up and I'm problem solving even better. So I'm realizing like as a problem solver, I'm getting better. It's helping me in my editing career, in my directing career. I can identify issues prior.
Yeah.
And to answer your question, it's hectic. It's back-to-back phone calls. But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. The way I look at it, it's like NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you come into the pit, go.
Yeah.
And the more you train, the more efficient you become. It becomes normal.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love the fast-paced lifestyle. I mean, I'm sure you do too. When you're on tour and you the adrenaline rush.
Yeah, man. I was depressed the first couple weeks of lockdown, man. I was real depressed.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I bet.
I just needed a purpose. I felt like I didn't have a purpose.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, okay. I've been putting together DJ sets twice a week for 5 years. Nobody to DJ to.
Yeah.
What do I do? Putting so much time into those, making sure it's the right songs, the right edits, the right transitions, everything. And now I haven't done that in like months.
And off this podcast, I mentioned it was really beautiful to see you, man. I mean the word beautiful because it's like I don't know your story, but the fact that I'm pulling up to Vegas and you're right there. I'm like, whoa, that's cool. My friend's boyfriend is there.
Yeah.
My brother's DJing here.
Yeah.
My homies over here, and I'm like, man, like this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing you were talking about before of just writing down what you want, and that was something that we as a group wrote down. And you start negotiating these contracts. You're like, cool, whatever you want, but we need that billboard.
We need that billboard.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember. I think you had red or yellow and you had glasses on.
Yeah.
And
sounds about right.
Yeah. And what I can say is, you deserve it. Success is not an accident.
Yeah.
And I don't know you on a personal level, but I could tell that you worked hard for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations on that.
It's just something about if you enjoy working hard. If you can get to that level, then you can make it. Because most people don't want to put in the work. During quarantine, I've been getting a lot into David Goggins. I'm sure you heard about him. He's considered one of the toughest people on the planet. And you just got this book from Jocko.
Yeah.
But the idea that he
That's
pushes,
the gentleman from that did like 7. He did every training. Military
yeah.
training.
Yes, that's him.
He's a Marine, a Navy SEAL, and
Yep.
the SEALs hated him. That's how hard he worked.
Yeah.
They were annoyed at him. But he talks about going into the pain and doing things on purpose that are painful.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a little different mindset for me. I'm normally the more laissez-faire, go with the flow, love, like, that's my main priority. But I started doing it on purpose, and I was like, dang, I can do so much more than what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And you realize it. And then when you go towards the pain on purpose, then all the other stuff that maybe used to get anxiety about or used to stress you out, you're like, oh, I don't care about that.
So I want to share a word with you, and it's my favorite word. It's entelechy, and what you just mentioned was your.
I was gonna ask you about.
I did too. I didn't want to say anything. I was like,
no.
what the fuck is that?
Listen. I didn't know what the heck it meant. So I'm gonna tell you the word. I'm gonna tell you who gave it to me. It means the realization of potential, and that's when you realize your potential. And in life, we're always growing, and we have to realize the next potential. So it's so important to not be depressed. You got to find your entelechy every step of the way. A buddy of mine was being deployed to Afghanistan in a really crazy area, and he was working with special forces. So we took a weekend to go to Yosemite. And as we're driving, it's just me and him are awake. The other homies are asleep. And he was like, "Yo, H, I want to give you a word." I'm like, "You want to give me a word? Like I have rights to it. I'm a light." He was like, "Listen, do whatever you want with it." He's like, "But this is you, entelechy." And I was like, "Man, thank you."
Yeah.
But I didn't know what it meant. And he was like, "When I get deployed, I need you to research it." So he got deployed, and I started researching, and I was like, wow, the realization of potential. It was at that moment when you figure out your entelechy, everything just turns on.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything's like another level. Once you accomplish what you wrote down, oh, that was actually easier than I thought.
Yeah.
So I guess I can do even more. I can think bigger.
Yeah.
What Court was saying.
And process.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about process. Like, you know, you were telling me about you wrote it down on a sheet of paper. That was your entelechy of like, yo, if I write it down again, it's bound to happen.
Yeah.
And you can use that experience to fuel your new method of your new goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you start to realize that everything you do, you got to get your reps in, you know?
Yeah.
First podcast, second podcast, third podcast, we're freaking out. We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, no idea.
Anxiety.
Seriously.
Then you get into the ritual of it and
Then it becomes
settle in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed. Like, you know, people are watching this, but they don't really know the mechanics behind this. And all I got to say is like, this is amazing.
Man.
Like, I walked in, there's a red right here. I'm like, yo, this is a legit commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just funny because we just had this idea one day, right? It just came. I don't even know how this came about.
You know, we were just bored, locked down, and we weren't seeing anybody else, just us. So we probably went close to a full month where we didn't see anybody except for us two. And like I said, after you watch every movie that you can watch, and you just getting high every day and not being productive. You feel like a piece of
shit, and you're like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not this person. I'm usually productive. So it's like...
It's okay to just relax to an extent, but once it hits past like 2 weeks...
Being creative is a beauty. It's a blessing. And to me, you know, you ask like what I do, right?
Yeah.
Like basically like what's your advice? To me is being creative. Yeah. Like for me, when I formed a logistics company, it wasn't me forming a company. It's me being creative. Mm-hmm. Hey, here's an issue. How can I solve this?
How can I create a new way?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You know, when I went to fashion school, and I know I can't sew, but I have designs and I have the ability to put people together.
Yeah.
So let me put these people. So that's me being creative. Like, okay, he has this talent. She has this talent. I have this. It's putting a team together. So I believe, you know, creativity in a way is the blessing to cure depression.
Yeah, I agree.